emphasizing that Civil War history and minimizing the slave trade history that led to the Civil War.
Right.
Like you said, after that 60+% of our people came on these shores from months on in on a boat in their own sick, they were then transported here to Sullivan's Island, where they were held for weeks to months to determine whether or not they were ill before they were sold off in Charleston, which is one of the largest slave ports in America.
Right, and that's where we're gonna go next. We're gonna go and touch that. We actually gonna see where we literally walked across and got onto another ship to then cross over into Charleston. And then you right at the slave market then. And from there it's literally dungeon or barracoon after barracoon to the front porch, and then you're sold, and then you're giving your slave master last name at that point. So we're gonna go and check that out next. But yeah, this is where we at. 50% to 60% of our people came right here to this spot, this literal location.
What does 700 mean?
I think that's how they.
Yeah.
This is 700?
700 pound scale, yeah.
This is.
But I'm just saying.
Shit, that's after it's been built up.
Look at this.
Ain't no sign.
Damn.
That's the grab.
That's the grab.
Grab it on both sides.
After this was used for mechanisms like this, it was used on us too. Torture. Do y'all know how much this weight? Is this 700? Is this a 700-pound bale?
Let me call.
If this is a 700-pound bale, how long did it take to pick this 700? Shoot. Yeah, shoot. Some people had to get like 500 pounds in a day.
That's bro.
In a day. We all need a sign?
No,
You see that
I signed the whole
Okay. All right. They had to get like 500 pounds a day. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We gonna say it's 700 pounds. That's 700 pounds. That's 700 pounds. Let me see. Oh, that's 700 pounds.
Yeah.
That's 700. Listen, that's 700 right there, boy.
Ain't light.
You know how much cotton you got picked?
I think it's compressed. It's compressed.
Compressed. Sure.
So this is
So boom. Still band right
No, it would go up to 700, but those bales were typically at 500. Your newer bales, like you'll see one in the museum that's plastic wrapped, those are 480. Now, the important part is the weight of that bale is after the seeds are removed. So that bale's already been through the ginning process.
So that's why it's so compact?
Yes. And if you cut, I used to bring them like that into my mill. And if you cut the bands and remove the burlap, tomorrow that bale would be twice that big.
Dang.
It expands because it's packed so tight. But yeah, the farmer picks 1,500 pounds. They take the seeds out, and then they'll get 500 pounds of just fiber. And that bale's ready to go in the textile mill to spin yarn and to weave fabric.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, try to come sometime during the week when I'm there, and I'll give you Cotton 101.
Yes, sir. We'll make it happen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Cotton 101. All right, let's see what we can find. Children playing on bales of cotton during the annual ingathering on October 7th, 1951 at church in St. Charles, South Carolina. Ingathering. So during the same season, we would have been keeping tabernacle. Their children, reaping the benefits of our labor. It's crazy.
Dang. That's crazy. Dang. For all you Mount Zion Presbyterians out there, All of y'all want to be in Presbyterian. This is what we had. Our oppressors were sitting there playing in the cotton that our forefathers and foremothers picked during the time we supposed to be keeping tabernacles.
We the real Mount Zion.
Yeah, we the real Mount Zion. For this episode of the 12th Colony documentary, we are in Bishopville, South Carolina. We are at the Cotton Museum. We are here to uncover a lot of the different hidden history about slavery that comes with the crops of cotton, of the things that our people were demanded to do, and how much of it has been hidden from our people from the history. So listen, we're gonna uncover those things, give you that history on it, and Lord's will, some of our people are edified, and the history brings out a little more than what you thought you knew. You know what I mean? So all praise to the Most High. Hey, come with us as we go through.
Phases of the cotton flower. Cotton is one of the earliest domestic non-food plants in the world, dating back over 7,000 years. The beautiful silky white cotton bloom is a perfect flower, but it's also very short-lived.
They trace cotton all the way back to South Carolina to the 1670s. 1670s. That's how far back cotton been in South Carolina. So our people been working in the fields and it said all the way to modern time. All the way to modern time. So cotton traced all the way back to then. They ain't have all these big heavy machines and stuff.
Right. We was the machines.
We was the machine. 1670s. Because they'll tell you, 1800s. No, 1670s. So all the way back to then. It's like they try to leave out them 200 years before that to try to lessen the time period to make it seem different.
That's the process of
how the cotton, Wow. Start like that. They look like a different flower. Go to this, turn red. You be right. You know how you ride in South Carolina. We go to Tabernacles and you see all of that at the end because it's at the end gathering. But we come earlier, you see it like this.
That's why they were so cutthroat with the production. Y'all ain't getting out there and getting this cotton, this 500 pounds of cotton in one day. The next day it's gonna go nothing.
Yeah, go bad.
It's a quick process.
Bro, this is so they had the gang labor system, organized enslaved people into groups or gangs to perform synchronized, supervised work for long hours, usually from sunup to sundown. How it worked? Gangs were divided by ability. First gang, strongest and fastest workers, often men, did the hardest tasks with plowing, hoeing, and heavy cotton picking. Second gang, older people, teenagers or women, did slightly less demanding tasks. Third gang, children or elderly assigned light tasks with carrying water or removing debris. A white overseer or enslaved driver watched each gang constantly to maintain strict discipline. Whoops, chains, and physical punishment were routinely used to enforce pace and obedience. Workers were not allowed to slow down, talk, or rest unless authorized.
Dang, that's crazy. Like Scripture say, they had no mercy on the young or old. You got the third wave, older people, and then you got children out there. And we looking at our beautiful kids and running around in the yard, and they would have been right there in the field with us, right, picking cotton, getting hit with whips and chains and stuff with no break, unless you was authorized. So if they ain't want to give you no break, you ain't getting no break. Dang.
So it's another 500 pounds?
He said that was what, 4 something?
This one?
He said it was 4 what?
80.
480. So he said this way first. I want to go against the grain. I was going to do that. That joint's literally going, you got February
to December.
To December for the finished picking.
Go ahead. It's 10 months.
And then it said that average yield of the seed cotton
per acre
is 577 pounds.
Now, mind you,
that's an original, right? So on the sea high, so all the peninsulas off the edge, kind of like Beaufort and all of them, and then all the way even up to North Carolina on those different islands there, it was 500 on those islands. That's crazy.
It's like, how much you got to pick, bro? How do you make that 500, bro?
I got you right here. Historical example. At a plantation in South Carolina, enslaved people picking cotton in the gang system might start at 4 a.m. Work with minimum food, no shelter from heat, and only stop at nightfall. Overseers use stopwatches and tally sticks to track production.
4 in the morning until it get
dark.
Summertime.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, it's like 9:30.
Yeah.
So they got like the sea island cotton. So that's like the cotton variety believed to have come originally from Jamaica and South America. Became known as sea island cotton. Its growth was limited to the sea islands of South Carolina and Georgia. It was the first to be successful commercially. It grew near the coast in loose sandy soil, used mainly for, delicate fabrics. Its silky fabric separated easily from seeds. So the sea island cotton was like a silky type fabric, all those high-end stuff that people be wearing. And that come from Jamaica and South America. So even Benji now, it wasn't just sugar cane. It wasn't just sugar cane with them. They was sitting up there picking cotton too.
Major planters. Lieutenant General Wade Hampton III and William Ellison.
Ain't that the Hampton House in Columbia? I gotta look them up. I gotta look them up when we get there. I gotta look him up, because I feel like he might got something to do with it. We'll look you up too. I don't know who you is.
Yeah. This is the real reason why we shouldn't be standing beside or in the same mindset as people that want to get rid of the historical monuments and documentation of what has established America, because it said major planters up here. It don't say these major planters were major enslavers.
Right.
Only through this information will the wicked truly be revealed.
They wasn't even the planters.
No.
We was.
No.
But we don't get credit.
Exactly.
They got the credit for it as though they did anything.
They need to replace major planters with major slavers.
Right.
100%.
And that thing right there, the Lord Proprietors Plantation. South Carolina is historically known to have 8 Lord Proprietors that basically took up all the land. All right, located south and across Old Town Creek from Charlestown, founded 1670, and bordering the marsh along the Ashley River, Captain Joseph West established the Lord's Proprietors Plantation. Plantation was to serve as a guest house for visiting proprietors. The plat shows a palisade structure with 3 guard houses protecting the entrances. Within the walls, several row houses were built and at least 3 large residential structures. To the right is the plan for experience garden. So that's on, I guess that's on here right here. The settlers were given very specific instructions to learn which crops would thrive well in the New Carolina. Cotton was one of those plants. This is the earliest record of cotton being cultivated in what is now South Carolina. So along with rice, tobacco, and this was the main cash crop that established America.
It established America, but you see how they said it's known now as South Carolina. Cause that's what this whole documentary is all about, cause it was the 12th colony. North and South Carolina was together. There wasn't no divide there, it was all just Carolina.
This fabric right here, you notice in all them old slave movies, we see them. It says right here, cotton fabric was woven by slaves on the looms at the burrow houses. The slaves made their own clothes out of this type of cloth. So
when they put that in the movies,
that's a fact.
That's the fact. We made that. That's heavy. Shoot, hold on. We got the cotton plant, right? So I got to read just the middle part. It said, no one knows exactly how old cotton is. Scientists have found bits of cotton cloth that proved to be at least 7,000 years old by 1500s.
Yeah.
So by the 1500s, cotton was known generally throughout the world. And this is the #1 spot cotton's made. So how and where is it known 1500s? Because it was here. Then it say, today the world uses more cotton than any other fiber, and cotton is a leading cash crop in the U.S. Business revenue stimulated by cotton is estimated at some 50 billion, the greatest of any U.S. crop. So when they talk about old money, that's where they get that old money from. That's what we was picking. Dang. All right. Saw blade.
Hey, watch this though.
No,
that last paragraph. Cotton has hundreds of uses, from blue jeans to shoestrings. Now, all the cotton we see is white.
Right.
How did it turn blue? Because South Carolina known for that indigo as well.
Yeah, the dye down there in Charleston.
Yeah.
You know how they got the little blue roofs and ceilings in their houses and stuff?
Right.
On the porches. Dang.
And think about this. This has always been, the Confederate Army wore gray. It was the Union Army that wore blue.
Right.
So where did they get the blue uniforms from? They had to have some kind of business dealings with planters in the South to even get those uniforms. This is dope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you got sharecroppers. All of us know about sharecroppers. Where we were given certain parts of the land. We had to pretty much work the land that we was slaves on anyway. And we paid the slave owner a percentage of what we brought in from the crops, which was a lot. Because during all this sharecropping stuff, you got Jim Crow laws and everything that was going on. So then you got the tenant. He had his own equipment and work animals. He obtained use of the land by contracting to pay a fixed percentage of the crops. The proprietor owned and farmed the land. One result of the tenant system was the breaking up of many plantations into small farms. That's why now you have those smaller lands, small farms where it ain't, what was it before? 488 acres. So now you got 233 acres now. So that's why you see in South Carolina, it used to be 500 acres, 400 acres. Now you got it divided into small pieces of land because of those three different types of tenure was found or whatever after the war, after the Civil War and all of that stuff. So then you got all of that happen. So those big plantations was made into smaller plantations. That's all it is. That's all it means. So it said, this is a replica of the interior of a tenant house, late 1800s to early 1900s. So during Reconstruction, landowners provided these simple houses for farm workers and their families who paid for their houses and some acreage with part of their crops, cash, or a combination. Tenant housing often evolved from one-room slave houses with the latter addition of a front porch and other rooms. So they would take the slave houses that we was in, and then, so if you're a sharecropper or a tenant or whatever, and you paying for this, you paying them a portion of the crops. They would take the same slave house that everybody lived in, that they put us in those huts, and then turn it or remodel it and repurpose it for where you would live as a sharecropper in that very same one room building. That's what this is. Yeah, as a modern day government apartment, government assistance projects on what most of us grew up in. That's what this is. And that literally evolved from one-room slave houses with the latter addition of a front porch and other rooms. So what we see in the hood today, especially when you in any project area, those slave houses, just replicas of slave houses. That's it. You gotta multiply that by 500 pounds.
It took 33.5 million harvest acres to do it. That's ridiculous. Bro, you know how many people, how many of our people died trying to accomplish
that in 1 year. In 1 year.
So in 1793, Whitney invents the gin.
Yeah.
first patent issued for a cotton picking gin, it didn't work. Then there was the Civil War. Cotton production falls 4%.
That times 500 is what they made when it was $1 in 1973.
And that's why a lot of these Edomites who enjoyed their luxury lifestyles today, that's why they can continue to live off of the wealth that was built off of our ancestors' back because of that right there.
That's 1973. That ain't long ago.
No.
Yeah, that's 50 years ago.
That's it.
50 years ago. So all these grandkids and great-great-grandkids that they done had, they still benefited from it. Because remember the dude you talked to on the phone, he was all happy. He said, I've done this.
I'll give you cotton 101.
Yeah, he used to do it. So that lets you know he's a son of somebody else that was doing this the whole time. So before all of this, he's the son of all that had us in slavery all this time. And then in 1973, remember, he said he's done that before bringing 500 pounds. So he's done that since 1973. So you get 500 pounds and you got 18,946,000 bales at $1 per pound. So you multiply that times 500 and then that's how much money they make, because it's 1 for 1. That is nuts.
Oh, his name Cotton Ed. That's Cotton Ed right there.
Father in Lynchburg in Lee County, South Carolina.
Right down the street.
Oh, he graduated from Walford in Spartanburg. So that's why all them elite, that's why it's hard to get in that college. You can't get in that college. It's not easy for black people to get in Walford. It's not easy. Cotton Ed.
They don't want to come around. Edomites, they've been walking around, they don't want to come around this way. Esau don't want to come this way. They say it's Negroes back there discovering their history.
People, while he's sitting on the cotton,
Mm-hmm.
he's sitting on the cotton. She's sitting in South Carolina. It's one of the senators in South Carolina. Cotton Ed. Look, he ain't picking nothing, he fishing and crap. Smoking
Chilling.
and crap. While our people done picked all this cotton he's sitting on.
Coca seed.
Tanglewood Plantation Mansion. Y'all know what Northview is?
Northview? I can't say I do.
North. Tanglewood Plantation Mansion. I'm assuming that's where he lives.
Bruh. Coker's Pedigree Seed Company's mission. Coker's Pedigree Cotton Seed. That Coker name is from here. My grandmother and grandfather worked on the Coker plantation out in Gable, South Carolina. Listen, I'm telling you, I gotta take y'all down there. But the house that I grew up in, I never knew it was a slave house until I came in the truth. Never knew that. It was a shotgun house, wooden house. Bigger than that thing over there though.
Like you said, they added rooms.
Yeah, it was bigger than that. It was a house, but I never knew it was a slave that we was on a plantation. All my younger years, I never understood that until the truth. But they worked for the Coker family, the Thomas family, and the Coker family. They some kin, but they own all the fields from Sumter. We right by Sumter. From Sumter all the way through Gable, South Carolina, they own a bunch of fields, bro.
Y'all got that, dude. All pretty
I wish I'm gonna see if we can set up something and go to Alkaloo, go to Gable, so I can show y'all the house I grew up in. And I can't believe it. It's just dawning on me like, bro, you was on a plantation at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old. I ain't get off of that junk till I was like 10. We moved.
That's out of date. It's crazy. 1973.
Yeah.
People think this stuff is long time ago.
I was born in 79.
Damn, bro. They think this stuff is a long time ago. This ain't that long.
No, bro.
It's stuff just 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
That place is not the same.
There go the boll weevil right there. The boll weevil. If it was this size, it would eat a whole. This is a boll weevil. Now, this is the boll weevil that if it was this size, it would eat an entire cotton field in one day. Boll weevil, all right? Boll weevil. It's a small little insect that just eats and eats and eats and eats. But if it was this size, it would eat an entire cotton field in one day. Lord in heaven, create the boll weevil to eat everything that our oppressors have tried to grow and all the labor that they have forced us to do in this country. Send the boll weevil.
It said it was 1892 when the boll weevils came across from Mexico and started attacking the crops, but it wasn't until 1916 when they actually learned what particular phosphate was going to be used to get rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's these over here? Just different animals?
Yeah. No,
Cotton
various.
insects.
Yeah, cotton insects.
Grasshoppers.
So, you know how the scripture said the Lord sent plagues and destroy the crops. These are they.
Yeah, those are they that were destroying our crops because we was in sin.
All right. That's the boll weevil right there in size. Big-eyed bug, but one of the smallest ones in here. Boll weevil, click beetle, thrips, stink bugs. We still see them.
An egg is laid by an adult female in a square or a bowl. A larva feeds and develops into this pupa stage, which later becomes the adult. This process only takes about 3 weeks, so there could be several generations during the cotton growing season. So these mothers just straight up eating the cotton. And then that's when they introduced the pesticides. Remember, they came over from Mexico, from South America. So when the Most High said he was gonna cause a blasting, cause us to lose where our crops wasn't gonna bring forth any fruit because of our sins. So why were these in South America first? And then when Esau started using them up, using and making us pick cotton later on in the future, then those very same bugs from South America came up to North America and started destroying the crops here. Because in South America, they was doing the same thing on crops there, all because of our sins. So the Most High, like he said, I'm gonna send pestilence. Hey, crops ain't gonna grow, they gonna eat up your crops. These are the bugs that was sent to eat up the crops. Boll weevil being one. Cotton, you got all this stuff that was created to try to catch them things, because they was probably destroying those things even back then.
That's their wages because we learned less than $1.
Right. But remember, when they gave us this equipment and all that stuff, they taxed it too. So even if we did make that amount, we still had to pay it back to them.
50 cents to $1 a day. That's what, but look, that's what they earned. This is what the oppressors earned. We didn't earn $19.80 a week in the 1900s. In the 1900s, for all of this same stuff, we earned 50 cents to $1 for a cotton picker.
A day.
A day.
So it ain't even on the list.
No.
They ain't even put that, why they ain't got cotton picker?
Gin operator worker. Gin operator worker. That ain't on here. A gin operator worker earns 75 cents to $1.25 a day.
So everything up there, they left off. They left off the slave.
Mm-hmm.
They left off the cotton picker and the gin worker.
It says
They was making 50 cents, 75 cents.
skilled laborer, which was rare. It was rare that a slaver a slave had the job of a skilled worker, even though he possessed all the damn skills.
Right.
He made $1.50 a day.
That ain't up there either.
No.
So that's what the oppressor made.
This is what they made. This is what they themselves paid their people.
So when he was talking about the overseer that was whooping us and stuff like that, they got paid the most.
$19.80 a week.
They got paid the most for making sure the slaves picked the cotton.
Loom fixer. You know he ain't fixed that loom.
No.
You know he sent Jake to go fix that loom.
There you go.
The loom cleaner. He ain't clean no loom. All of these people were damn taskmasters, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't do no work.
Dang.
Wooden loom. This is a loom right here.
Yeah, they ain't clean nothing.
This is a loom. They know they themselves didn't clean the loom. They definitely had Jake cleaning the loom.
That's crazy.
Sheesh.
This is what their children were doing, or afforded to do, while our children were in the field. So the education of meal children.
So that's why you got the meal girls or whatnot.
This is.
You got their kids. They leave out. We ain't gonna leave out.
No.
I don't want to talk like Bishop said. You don't want to talk about it? We gonna talk about it. Like a hand loom.
Crop duster.
That's crazy. Oh, this the yo, y'all ever seen that movie Wanted? Seen that movie Wanted with the assassins?
Yeah.
Where the dude make the bullet curve?
Yeah.
That's what this is. Remember how the thing shot through and he had to put his hand in there so it don't hit his hand? This is just a small one though. No, it's bro, that junk's crazy. That's just a small joint like that. Cause this right here is what they dropped in there and that's what took off. That's what moved. That's crazy. It's just what came to mind. It's nothing.
That was the cash register.
Hey, 300 pounds. How many pounds he had? 300? Shit's crazy. That's what they did. That's how they tracked everything. Yeah. And for all the hard work that we've done, we've now been replaced. But you still can't have a t-shirt for free out of Walmart. Huh?
Colored cotton dates back some 5 millennia ago to ancient Indians in Mesoamerica. They domesticated and improved certain cotton plants. So our brothers, it was Gad and Reuben in them, improved certain cotton plants. So it says some of these cottons were deeply pigmented and ranged in colors from white to green, as well as many shades of brown, tan, and rust. These cottons were hand spun and woven into fabrics with rich and colorful ornamentation. This tradition is still prevalent in some rural areas of Peru and Guatemala. Dang. So our brothers and sisters in Northern Kingdom down there, still, this is like one of their signature things that's in their clothes now, because they improved certain cotton plants.
That is the ending process of yarn. Yep. That is after the whole process, it gets turned into yarn. This is the end result of your cotton. Spun into yarn.
Take off and come back.
So that would put the lines across it.
Yeah, that thing straight across it, man. And this right here is what the thin cotton was, the yarn. That stuff right here was $100 and something a pound for 100 and I think it's like 130 something, 170 something yards or feet. Right, but it's very thin, and they use it to make like the expensive clothing with it. So the damper power loom changed the geographic location of the textile industry. Two mechanically talented brothers, Charles and Ebenezer Draper, were trying to make a go of practical Christianity. How in the world is that? Why are we talking about Christianity when we're talking about cotton? So then it says, in the utopian Hopedale community in, I'm assuming that's Massachusetts, MA? Am I right? Okay. The commune failed in 1856, and the Drapers went on to change the course of history. They held 400 patents in developing the Northrop automated loom in 1892. The Drapers became the largest textile machinery producers in the world. The Northrop automatic bobbin changer, an engineering marvel, automated a series of very intricate tasks previously performed by hand. Now, of course, those things by hand was by us. By World War I, Draper made most of the country's 400,000 mechanized looms, and the company was shipping overseas as well. The Draper loom doomed New England's mills. So that's why in New England, a lot of their mills shut down because of that. Using less power and run by untrained workers, they erased and keyed New England edge, its skilled labor force. It said it erased and keyed New England edge, its skilled labor force. So steam engines made water power unnecessary, but many New England mill owners were reluctant to automate. The textile industry moved south in search of cheaper, unskilled labor and to escape New England's restrictive child labor laws. In Hopedale, Massachusetts, the Drapers planned a model community believing that good houses made good workers. They erected quality duplex homes, company parks, built roads, sidewalks, sewers, gas lines, and high school playground and bandstand to the town. Draper business was liquidated in 1967. So yeah, at the end, why they didn't say that was only for so-called white people. They tried to make like it was for everybody. It was not for everybody.